Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Xinfin or XDC, so sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I do just want to ask guys, could please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely, and of course, I always do greatly appreciate it. Now, with that in mind, let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, obviously, as a lot of altcoin rotations are happening in this market, I will say right now is the time to look at assets that nobody cares about. And I say that in the lightest regard possible because when we are talking about Xinfin, it's probably one of the most overlooked assets in this space. I know that everyone likes to, talk about XRP, XLM, and stuff like that, but honestly, this is an asset that is still down significantly from its all-time highs, similar to Zilliqa. So let me actually duplicate this tab and let's go over to Zil real quick because I want to show you guys the, structure of Zil and what ended up happening with this asset. So, obviously this went into a massive parabolic run. So far, it looks like it's going to the all-time high to really kind of retest and break out. But ultimately, I want to show you guys the side-by-side comparison here. I mean, look at these two charts. I mean, do you see the pattern here? The pattern is that similar to the 2017-2018 structure. So here's 2017-2018. We have this massive downward trend followed by that breakout event. Okay, massive downward trend, breakout event. This is not nowhere close to being done either, by the way. I'm just trying to show you guys that, ultimately XDC didn't have a 2017-2018 run, but a lot of gems were similar to this back in 2017-2018. XRP actually, as a perfect example, was just like this, exact same pattern. Also, XRP looks ready to, really kind of start to print, but you do see the similar structure. I mean, like this topping point here from April of 2021 is basically the topping point from May of 2017, followed by, a little bit of a higher, sort of run, a little bit high, here, as you guys do see at like $1.40, followed by, sideways momentum for a few months, by the way. Like the lowest points here were during, again, roughly that July timeframe. Lowest points here were during, sort of the July timeframe yet again. Now, it did have a few, taps, before it kind of traded sideways and had that nice breakout event, but it's a very similar structure to what we are seeing now. I mean, even if you zoom in on this and kind of look at this, you could really kind of see the structure here. I mean, it's a massive downward trend followed by sideways momentum until the breakout event. Now, I know that a lot of these charts do look a little bit different, but, you can really kind of go off of the current structure of XRP and kind of compare and contrast, but, XDC looks like it's ready in that next major stepping stone for the price action. Now, all while we are waiting for the price action breakout on XDC, we are seeing some major updates throughout the entire ecosystem, but I do want to show you guys real quick the price chart and what I'm actually talking about. So again, here's that double tap of that bottom support going back to May. Sort of, sideways momentum, breakout event, which we are kind of breaking out a little bit, nothing too crazy. Not confirmed in terms of a breakout. A breakout event would be confirmed once we do break over almost like 8 cents. So again, ROI from here is pretty significant. But when we are looking at the current structure of this, we're kind of, ranging on a little bit of a support zone. This support zone, by the way, let me zoom out just so that you guys can really kind of see the point that we are kind of ranging on. There's not a lot of support around this range. It's more so just kind of bouncing off of the 20-day EMA, which is at around like almost 5.5 cents. If we have a strong, bounce off of this area, it's going to be pretty interesting to see what happens next because, we had a similar structure kind of, printing back here during March before we had that nice bounce off of the 20-day EMA. If we can kind of repeat that same process, we could technically retest the 618, which is at around like 13.5 cents before we do see a little bit of a pullback followed by another breakout event to, of course, the all-time high. Now, I will say this, some of the high figure numbers are much higher than like 50 cents and stuff. Like the 4236 between that and the 618 are around like 69 to 75 cents. Of course, I do think that this could go on a little bit more of a nice run, similar to XRP during 2017 and 2018. I actually have that over here. Like if we had XRP's market cap, it would be about a 55x or almost a $40 billion market cap. If we hit like the same exact price point of XRP, it would be a 65x, $47 billion market cap. This is XRP's all-time high from 2017-2018. The only difference here is where XDC is currently positioned compared to XRP during that time. XRP during 2017 and 2018 during this time frame, if we are taking into an accountability alt season really kind of ramping up here. XRP was around like the 20-some cent mark. It was like 22, 23 cents, and we are at like 6 cents. So, again, upside potential from here is pretty significant. I would assume, if we're talking just to the 4236 area, that's still significant price action. I mean, I take this with the idea that, it's better to be a little bit conservative than to, be too moonish. I mean, this is still 1,000% of an increase in price. This is, roughly 69 cents exact. Gotta love it, right? So here you guys have it, an 11x opportunity. Hey, I take those all day long. In fact, I told you guys that I play the 10x role, where I invest money into an asset. If it 10x's, I take my initial investment out, swing trade it into other assets that have not moved, and again, I play the 10x role. This would be a perfect idea here. I mean, like, even in the idea on putting, I don't know, $1,000 here, and making $10,000 or 10,000 to 100K or 100K to $1 million, like, this is what you really kind of look at. You don't wait for, hey, I hope this goes to $3 so I could, become rich. No, you just play the 10x game. I mean, I think that the 10x game is the best way to really kind of look at things. Of course, that's how I look at it. But ultimately, do I think that it could pull an XRP and go parabolic? 100%. It all depends on how much volume and buyer demand there is. Also, I do think that XDC needs a lot more markets or exchange listings for it. And talking about that, we did see a a new exchange listing on CoinDCX. You can not only trade but also deposit/withdraw XDC on CoinDCX and CoinDCX Pro. Now, is this a significant exchange compared to most? No, it's not. In terms of like when we're talking about, for an example, like Coinbase and stuff like that, like CoinDCX is down here at number 86, 410, almost 411,000 weekly visits, which is pretty cool, but $60 million in daily volume. Not a lot of volume is flowing over this exchange. So when we're talking about a top tier exchange, like I'm looking forward to seeing something like Binance, Coinbase, something like that to truly push the numbers of XDC up. We need more volume and buyer demand. Right now, the volume on XDC, like don't get me wrong, am I extremely bullish on XDC as a token? 100%. But that's why I'm trying to be conservative with my targets during this alt season, because check out the volume. I mean, it's honestly diminished volume since going back as far as, the all-time high during like August. So, again, we need a lot more buyer demand and volume. Of course, I think that this should be on everyone's watch list because, ultimately with what Xinfin is doing, I see exchange listings happening very, very soon, which we will see an increase in buyer demand and buyer volume. Now, also, we do see here, I truly believe that XDC now is what XRP was in 2017. That's the type of price action I'm expecting in this cycle. In the short term, long term, we have already won. And yes, when we are talking about XRP and XDC, I think that these X's, right, like I always call them the X's, we have XDC, XRP, XLM, like these assets are expected to see a major, massive bull run ahead. But also, we got to understand that, XDC did not have a bull run, right? Like, we came out a little bit late during 2018, so we didn't really experience a bull run. So this is XDC's first bull run, and when we're talking about the price action here, we don't technically know where it's going to go. We can go off of fib levels and be a little bit conservative and say, hey, 70 cents, like around this range, is a perfect area. But could this run to like $1, $2, $3? All that matters is buyer demand. That's the main key aspect here. But we could expect a 10x opportunity off of this gem. Now, we do see here, mark your calendar for the next TFD initiative webinar taking place on April 13th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 4 p.m. BST, London 5 p.m. EST, Brussels. It will be restricted to TFDI members and Xinfin official community and preview our brand new trade finance tokenization service, a world first ever. Guys, things are rapidly shifting within the Xinfin ecosystem and community, focused on trade finance in terms of tokenization. Again, $19 trillion market. This is also why we do see, long term, we already won, because the long term, game of Xinfin as a, settlement token on the Xinfin network, or I should say XDC as a settlement token on the Xinfin network, is going to be an absolute massive opportunity for us to be really positioned currently within this asset. I mean, this is an area that is going to continue to, be ripe for disruption, and Xinfin is perfectly positioned to disrupt this massive market. Now, we also seen that Xinfin announced multiple bridges with XDC will be deployed by the Wanchain organization. Partnership update, you asked, we made it happen. Demo facility strategic partnership with one of the pioneers in building interoperable bridges. Wanchain, Wanchain will be deploying a bridge for XDC Polygon, BSC, Avalanche, and Wanchain. So this is great to see. I've always said that in terms of DeFi, tokenization, whatever the case may be, you still need those bridges. These bridges are allowing for a bridgeable future between decentralization in terms of the financial area. It helps with NFTs. It really kind of pioneers the idea of interoperability between networks. So without that interoperability layer, a lot of these networks will not be able to transact that data that is crucial for the success of these networks. I say this all the time with Quant Network as well. This truly is, a big detrimental area to really focus on. So again, without these interoperable bridges, again, these networks will not foster in massive adoption. So this is great to see. And of course, I do just want to really kind of wrap this up with one last mention of XSwap protocol. They did announce their fully live Uniswap fork. You guys could go check this out if you want, but this is great. I don't think I checked it out too much, but I know that this has been, something that's pretty, kind of sketchy. The link is blocked and stuff like that. So, I hope that they kind of fix this. Maybe it is a little bit of, a security sort of thing on their end. But I do think that XSwap protocol is something significant. I think that this is going to be something pretty big. Of course, they definitely do need to focus on, switching up that, page where it does say, hey, it's blocked, because I'm not the only one that it's happening to. So hopefully they do change that. But again, I've always said, just kind of proceed with caution with XSwap. I mean, they just did have their audit. They have been increasing in value lately, but now they currently are having that pullback off of that nice run that they did. So you guys have that run. It went all the way down to about like 22, ran all the way up to like about like almost 80, and then now we have this nice pullback, which will most likely lead to a nice little, run again. So I'm watching, XSwap protocol closely. I do think that when we are talking about a lot of the things that are happening within the Xinfin network, there's a lot of assets similar to XSwap protocol that are doing pretty well. I know that I think it's like WadsPay. That's another token that's doing pretty good, or WTK. I know that this had a major rally just recently. But a lot of these assets that are on the Xinfin network are definitely great gems to look into, especially if you are holding XDC. Like, we just hit about like 23 cents off of the lows of like roughly like 4 cents. So this did like a massive run up here, almost did a 10x opportunity. And now it's kind of just trading sideways at around like roughly 17 cents almost. Got to remember that the all-time high back here is roughly around like 40 cents. This is still pretty early. I mean, like a 31.2, almost $31.3 million market cap. That's pretty early. Total addresses 786. Like, a lot of these are, gems that are on the Xinfin network that are doing pretty well for themselves. So, definitely do your own research if you are going to look into, gems that are on, of course, a network that we are talking about, more so like Xinfin, even like Hedera and stuff. Like, there's other assets that are building on these networks that do offer incredible opportunities, but again, always do your own research, because it doesn't matter if they are building on the network. You still have to look into security, issues with the network or the app itself, and also look into, again, tokenomics. Tokenomics are key. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Guys, did definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.